spectrum, Alan, because we don't even have people paying attention to the state politics.
But that's always been so. Are we sure we can turn that around? Or how do you turn that lethargy around?
Alan, not like this. I really believe you guys who have been close to the process, you sometimes don't appreciate how this government has deteriorated over time.
Oh, I do.
You know, the old story about the frog in the pot, right? If you drop a frog into boiling water, the frog will sense the heat and jump out. If you put the frog in a pot of water and slowly boil the water, the frog will stay in there, not sensing the differentiation. This government has been deteriorating for years, for decades. This is not the state government that I grew up admiring. This is not the state government that inspired me. My father became governor. It's his birthday today, by the way.
Happy birthday, Governor.
Happy birthday, Pop. I went up there, 22, 23 years old, and not just my father, but there were giants in Albany. Democrats and Republicans, both sides of the aisle, legislators, great debates, great principled debates, gentlemen. It was always about the principle, Alan. It was always about the state. It was never self-serving. It was never ad hominem.
You don't really mean it was never self-serving and never ad hominem.
Yeah, okay, once in a while. But it was the exception, not the rule. It was the exception, not the rule. And I tell you, I was inspired. And a whole generation was inspired. And to be a state assemblyman was a big deal. Mm-hmm. To be a state senator was a big deal. That was a very prestigious occupation. We've lost that over the years. We really have. And city government, New York City, federal government, Washington, attracting young people, creating energy, and state government dissipated. And this is really the low point of the dissipation. And what happened here, I think, is the government had gotten increasingly dysfunctional. It atrophied the way a muscle would atrophy. Then the economic crisis happens, and now we need the government to work. Because now they really have to do a budget, and now it's really hard because the numbers have changed, and we find out that the machine doesn't work. And it's been a dissipation of the capacity of government for many, many years.
Andrew Cuomo, let me ask you something. There is a candidacy that has just been announced by one Charles Barron, who is annoyed that you have chosen Bob Duffy to be your running mate and that the convention has chosen him, and says it was a slap in the face to black people. This is sort of old racial politics, number one. And the guy, I have to say, the guy has some anger management problems, which we've seen in the past. But nevertheless, how do we answer this?
What, the anger management problem? I can't help you with the anger management problem. Look, political process, everybody gets an opinion, and that's what makes it so much fun. Anyone who wants to run can run. They can make the point that they want to make. I am committed to diversity in my administration. If the people of the state of New York give me the opportunity, I'll have the most diverse administration in history. That will be the goal, and I believe I will achieve it because I believe in it. And I have in all my government positions. Would it be nice? Can we always do more to have more diversity on the ticket? Of course, of course. So Mr. Barron's making that point. I understand the point. If he wants to run, he should run.
Can he hurt you in terms of Lazio-Cuomo standoff?
Look, anyone can hurt anyone in this business at this time. To the extent he would take votes from me, sure it would hurt. I would hope that when people hear what I have to say and hear my campaign and hear my position and hear my plans, that they would vote for me. But to the extent, if in fact he runs and if in fact people found his case persuasive, but he could theoretically hurt. But I think I'm going to have a very strong argument on this point.
How is the race with Rick Lazio shaping up?
You know, Alan, I don't know who the race is with on the other side.
Yeah.
They have a it looks like there's going to be a Republican primary.
Right.
And you have Carl Palladino, you have another gentleman on the conservative line, you have Lazio, who is the designee for the Republican Party.
And the conservatives, right.
And the Conservative Party. And I guess there's a primary on the Conservative Party side. So they have to straighten all that out and work that through. And I guess we'll know in September who wins. And at that point, we'll have a general election. I don't have a primary campaign at this time. I still could. Someone could circulate petitions now to get on the Democratic line. But as we speak, I don't have a Democratic primary.
Your father was quoted in a paper I saw. He apparently got a little agitated when somebody said to him, Andrew's a shoo-in for governor, isn't he? And your father said, no one's a shoo-in for governor, and anything can happen. What do you think of that?
Well, he didn't say un national un pop, right?
Between now and then, a new pope will be born. Yeah.
I would have thought that was going to be the response. So I think his point was right. It's a very high office. People of the state have concerns. The election's a long way away. Right now, so far, if you listen to the polls at all, Alan, it seems like New Yorkers have appreciated the work that I've done and are favorable to what I've done as Attorney General and what I'm talking about doing as governor. But who knows? And you have to work like you're 10 points behind. My father's lesson, where I come from, you just wake up every day and do the best you can every day, and one foot in front of the other every day, and take nothing for granted. I work 7 days a week. I work as many hours as I can put in, save the time I'm with my girls, which is my first priority. And that's the way I lead my life, you know, and that's my father before me. So I think if you suggest complacency to my father, or suggest, you know, this is a foregone conclusion, he's going to bristle at that, as he should. It's not the way he plays the game. It's not the way I play the game.
We saw, and a lot of people talk about this, Elliot Spitzer, brilliant Attorney General, you know, frankly, fall on his face. Is there a difference between what one does as Attorney General and Governor in terms of, and it's an inarticulate question, but impressing the body politic?
They are different jobs, Governor and Attorney General. Same basic occupation, right? Same basic pursuit, but they're different jobs. I think when you look at what I have done throughout my career, Alan, I've had a diversity of experiences. I've been in the state government. I've been in the federal government. I've been in the private sector, not just government. I've managed large organizations. The HUD position at HUD was a $30 billion agency. Federal agency. I worked in every state in the nation. I worked and represented this country and countries all around the globe. I worked with a legislative body called the United States Congress, which you think Albany can be tricky. The United States Congress can be pretty tricky waters to navigate also, you know. And we got a lot of legislation passed in Washington. So I've been in a number of situations that require a diversity of experience and different talents. I've worked with the legislatures. I've worked with people of the other party. I've forged consensus in that context, and that's a big part of what the governor has to do.
Yes, but as AG, you have the right to indict people when they're misbehaving. You don't have that right when you're governor, right?
Well, you know, frankly, my HUD position was a policy position more than the AG's office. AG's office, obviously, you focus on the state. You get more of an intimate knowledge of the state. But the governor is a hybrid. Governor is about using the bully pulpit. Governor is about setting policy. Governor is about working with the legislature.